Level 1. The weight of shame, $0 to $50,000. We begin at the very bottom. You're staring at a key fob that has seen better days. The plastic is slightly cracked, the buttons are worn smooth, and the lock symbol is barely visible. When you press it, the car doors unlock with a loud mechanical clunk. In this first stage of the journey, driving a 10-year-old car doesn't feel like a strategic choice. It feels like a sentence. You look around the parking lot of your new job, and the pressure is suffocating. Society is whispering in your ear, telling you that your vehicle is the ultimate scorecard of your career. You see your peers, fresh out of college or newly promoted, signing leases on sleek, shiny vehicles with glowing digital dashboards and the intoxicating aroma of factory new leather. When you park your dented sedan next to their pristine SUVs, a quiet sting of embarrassment hits you. You find yourself parking further away from the entrance, hoping no one sees you getting out. You make excuses during lunch breaks, volunteering to ride in someone else's car because you don't want your coworkers to sit on your slightly worn passenger seat or hear the slight squeak of your brakes. At this level, your bank account is vulnerable. A $500 emergency room visit or a sudden check engine light feels like an existential threat. You are trapped in the survival mindset. The old car is a symbol of what you lack, and every marketing campaign on television is designed to exploit this exact vulnerability. They promise you that a new car payment, even if it's $700 a month, will buy you respect, comfort, and safety. Most people capitulate here. They sign the papers, trade their peace of mind for a shiny status symbol, and lock themselves into a lifetime of debt. But you decide to wait. You decide to embrace the discomfort, and that is when you unlock the next level. Level 2. The awakening of utility, $50,000 to $100,000. By the time you cross $50,000 in net worth, something subtle begins to change inside your mind. The shame of driving an older car starts to lose its grip. You've spent the last couple of years watching your friends struggle. You've listened to them complain about their $900 a month car payments, their skyrocketing insurance premiums, and the panic they feel when their property taxes are due. You look at their lives and you realize that their shiny new cars are not symbols of wealth. They are beautiful, depreciating anchors dragging them down. Meanwhile, your old car has quietly become your greatest financial ally. You realize that because you don't have a car payment, you have an extra $700 or $800 of free cash flow every single month. Instead of giving that money to a dealership, you begin to feed it into your brokerage account. You buy shares of broad market index funds. You watch your net worth march past $20,000, $40,000, and finally touch $50,000. At this level, you transition from the shame mindset to the utility mindset. You stop viewing your car as an extension of your identity. You realize it is nothing more than an appliance. It is a refrigerator on wheels. Its only job is to safely transport your body from point A to point B. Once you strip away the ego, you realize that your 10-year-old car does that job just as well as an $80,000 luxury SUV. When a rock chips your windshield or a shopping cart bumps into your door at the grocery store, you don't panic, you don't stress. You smile because you realize your happiness is no longer tied to the physical perfection of a machine. You are starting to taste the very first drops of financial security. Level 3. The compounding tipping point, $100,000 to $300,000. This is the level where the math starts to win the argument. You have crossed the legendary six-figure milestone. You have $100,000, maybe $200,000 quietly working for you in the background. And for the first time, you witness the true power of compounding. You open your investment app on a Friday afternoon, and you see that your portfolio has grown by more than your entire monthly salary, simply because the market had a good week. You realize that your money is now working harder than you are. This realization changes your brain chemistry. The desire to buy luxury items completely evaporates. When you see a brand new $70,000 truck driving down the street, you no longer feel envy. Instead, you do the math in your head. You realize that $70,000 invested today, compounding at a conservative 8% over 20 years, turns into over $320,000. You look at that truck and you don't see luxury. You see a $300,000 mistake. You see someone who traded a massive chunk of their future retirement just to sit a little higher off the ground on their daily commute. At this level, your old car becomes a badge of honor. It is no longer something you hide. It is the physical proof of your self-discipline. When your coworkers ask you why you haven't upgraded yet, You don't make excuses anymore. You smile and say, "It runs great, and I love not having a car payment." They look at you with a mixture of confusion and mild respect, completely unaware that while they are drowning in luxury debt, you are quietly building an empire of invisible wealth. Even when your alternator fails or you need a brand new set of tires, it is no longer an emergency. It is a minor, boring inconvenience. You pay for the repair out of your checking account without even checking the balance, realizing that maintaining an old car is infinitely cheaper than financing a new one. Level 4. The silent $500,000, $300,000 to $500,000. You have arrived. $500,000, $500,000. You sit in your 10-year-old car waiting for the engine to warm up on a cold winter morning. The heater takes a few minutes to kick in, and the seat doesn't have a massage function. But as you look at your dashboard, you feel a sense of warmth that no luxury car could ever provide. At this level, you have achieved what very few people in modern society ever will: complete and total cognitive liberty. You have realized the ultimate truth of the financial system. Looking rich is the enemy of actually being wealthy. The vast majority of the luxury you see on the streets of America is an illusion. It is a fragile facade built on a foundation of high-interest loans, lease agreements, and credit card debt. The people driving those cars are modern-day indentured servants, bound to jobs they despise because they cannot afford to miss a single paycheck. But you are invisible. You drive through the most affluent neighborhoods, past the multi-million-dollar homes and the exotic cars, and you realize that you belong to a secret club, the club of the quiet rich. You have nothing left to prove to anyone. When you park your older vehicle at a high-end restaurant or a business meeting, you don't care what the valet thinks. Your self-worth is no longer externalized. It is deeply rooted in the security of your balance sheet. Having $500,000 compounding means that your money is quietly generating $20,000 to $30,000 a year in passive growth, even if you never save another dime. You are halfway to $1 million. Your financial trajectory is now virtually unstoppable, and it was funded by the simple, boring decision to keep driving this old, reliable machine. Level 5. The key to the cage, 500,000 plus. This is the final level, the level of ultimate leverage. At $500,000, your relationship with time and work undergoes a radical transformation. You realize that your 10-year-old car didn't just save you money, it bought you your life back. Because you refused to chain yourself to a $700 monthly car payment, you kept your cost of living incredibly low. And because your cost of living is low, your $500,000 portfolio represents years, perhaps decades, of absolute runway. If your corporate job becomes toxic tomorrow, you don't have to smile and take it. You don't have to lose sleep worrying about layoffs. You can walk into your boss's office, hand in your resignation, and walk out into the parking lot with a smile on your face. You climb into your old car, turn the key, and hear that familiar, imperfect hum. To the rest of the world, you are just an average commuter driving an outdated vehicle. But as you pull onto the highway, you know the truth. You are completely, undeniably free. The old car was never a sacrifice. It was the key to your cage. It allowed you to bypass the consumer trap, step off the hedonic treadmill, and buy the only luxury that actually matters: ownership over your own time. You look ahead at the open road. The sky is vast, the engine is steady, and your future is entirely yours to write.